Hi, welcome to another episode of BurqueñoBQ. Today we're making Albuquerque turkey. But before we get to learning how to make this turkey, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and the bell to be notified when we have new videos coming out, and visit nmbbqtrue.com to check out all of our latest merchandise and swag. Now, it's time to cut into this turkey, take a bite and see how it tastes. Still really hot, just came off the grill. But it tastes really good. It's injected with green chili, a whole bunch of seasonings, all kinds of good stuff. So keep watching to learn how to make this this recipe. One more thing. This is actually part of a kind of 3-part video that we're going to be doing because in New Mexico, there's a traditional soup for holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it's called Posole. If you're not familiar with what Posole is, it's a soup with hominy, red chili, pork, usually lime. But what I like to do is after Thanksgiving, I do this every year. Once I've carved down the whole turkey carcass, I boil down that carcass into turkey broth and add veggies to it to make it like a turkey veggie broth, and then make Posole from that, and it is an amazing treat. And because I'm going to be using red chili for that, I'm also going to be making a video on how to make my red chili sauce, and they all go together perfectly. So don't forget to check out the description below for all those links. I've got my turkey all prepared here, ready to be seasoned, injected, and I bought a pre-brined turkey so I didn't have to mess with any of the brine. This isn't my actual Thanksgiving bird. I'm getting that one just a couple days before Thanksgiving, but obviously that wouldn't give me enough time to make this video for you all. So what I've done is just remove the giblets, taken out the neck and everything. I've prepared a easy fresh stuffing here. This isn't something I'm going to eat afterwards. In general, you're probably not going to want to cook stuffing in the bird on the smoker. It'll probably get kind of dry. But this is just to add flavor and seasonings. What I've got is just apples, Honeycrisp apples, and there was one large Honeycrisp apple and about maybe 2/3 of a sweet onion. And these will do two things. It'll help keep everything nice and moist inside, and it'll provide some flavor as the aromas from these apples and apple and onion start to boil off as the temperature goes up inside. And that was one apple, 2/3 of onion, and you can see it's stuffed pretty well in there. I'd be hard pressed to get much more inside. Now I've got my injection here. I didn't want to do a rub because I want to have a nice looking skin on the outside at the end, and I feel like that can sometimes detract. I'll just end up putting a coat of butter on here right before I put it on the grill. But you don't want to do the butter first because it's going to make it hard to handle. As you can see, I've got this on a grate, and I'm going to put this on a drip tray inside. This grate over a drip tray once I'm ready to actually put it on the smoker, and that'll catch the drippings as I'm cooking. So I'm going to go in from behind here and put in this injection. So in this injection, this is called Albuquerque turkey, right? So obviously we've got the base is green chili. I've got cloves. I've got an umami seasoning from Trader Joe's that I really like. I'll be putting all this in the description below and on the screen right here to see the exact proportions. And I've got some brown mustard seed from Penzeys, herbs de Provence from Penzeys. I've got kosher salt. Generally, you're going to want to avoid iodized salt for any type of injection. So I need to reload here. And this is just like a really nice, spicy, savory injection. And I'll get some sweet flavors from those apples coming from the inside as well. And you just want to get deep into the burb from multiple angles and inject as much of this good stuff in here as you can. I like to avoid puncturing the skin as best I can, but in some cases, like here in the thigh, there's just not a lot of access necessarily. I can get some from the outside here, so I'm going to do as best I can to not have to put any of that through the skin, but depending on your bird, that may or may not be possible. And I think that's about as much as I'm going to be able to inject, and it should impart a lot of flavor that way. So we're going to go ahead and cut here in just a moment. I'm going to coat this bird with the butter off camera. I think you guys can all handle that. But I do want to show my smoker setup here. I've removed the top grate so there's plenty of room. Bottom grate is fully on the bottom, not on the middle rack. I'm going to place this grate here with the bird on top of that disposable aluminum liner tray. I've got about 6 cups of water in the liner. In that tray, you want to make sure you have a bunch of a good amount of water, because as these drippings come down, if there's no water, they'll just dry up and they won't be usable. So the only thing, of course, we're going to have a temperature probe inside the bird for the duration of the cook, but you're going to want to check the water level in the tray. It'll boil off, evaporate as we're cooking, and you're going to need to make sure that there's enough water to keep those drippings nice and juicy, because you want to use that for gravy at the end. So I'm going to be cooking this at, initially, I want to get a really nice smoke flavor. I'm using apple wood, not a really heavy smoke. So I'm going to be cooking this at 200 for probably the first hour, because that first low cook is going to impart the most smoke flavor. Once the skin starts to stiffen up and the temperature of the meat starts to rise, you're not going to get as much smoke penetrating into the skin and into the flesh. So after that initial hour at 200, I'll kick up the temperature to, I would say, it depends on how much time you need to go. You can cook the bird at 225 the whole time, but you're going to be looking at probably about 45 minutes per pound. At 250, you're probably looking at about 30 minutes per pound. If you go up to 325, you're looking at more like 12 minutes per pound. So it's more about how much time do you have to cook the bird, how much smoke flavor do you want to get in there. The lower the temperature, the more smoke flavor. I think I'm going to cook it at 250 after that initial hour at 200. This is about a 10-pound bird, so we're probably looking at 45 minutes times 10 pounds, 450 minutes divided by 6. So we're looking at probably a good 6 to 7 hours of cook time for this bird. Now, when I do my big 22-pound bird next week, we're going to be cooking that at probably 350, because you can't cook a huge bird at that low temperature for that long. At least it's not well worth it, I guess. So we'll be back in just a moment after I've got my butter on here and we've put it in the grill. I've got my Albuquerque turkey stuffed with the apples and onions, injected with the green chili savory sauce, and covered in butter. I've got it on the grate. I've got water in my drip tray. Now I'm ready to just gently place this right over the tray. And now I can close up the Traeger, kick it up to 200, 1 hour there, and then I'll finish it off at about 250 for the remainder of the cook. I'm a little over 3.5 hours into my cook right now. After that first hour at a lower temperature, I kicked it up to 250 degrees. I've had it there for about a little over 2.5 hours now, and I'm looking at my turkey. It's not browning up quite as much as I personally want it to. So at the 3.5 hour mark, I've kicked the temperature up to 325 degrees. I sprayed it with avocado oil. You could use butter or any other oil with a higher smoke point. And I'm just going to monitor the internal temperature. It's at 142 right now. You want to make sure the internal temperature at the deepest part of the breast gets up to 165 degrees before you pull it out. Then you want to let it rest to get up to that final 170 degree threshold. So now we just wait. Thanks for sticking with us through the cooking this Albuquerque turkey. I've taken it off the grill, and just like everything when you're barbecuing, you got to make adjustments while you're cooking. I didn't quite like how the skin was roasting up, so with about 5 to 10 degrees left, I cranked the temperature up to 500, got this really nice, beautiful brown skin on there. And of course, you want to check the temperatures before you take the turkey off the smoker. I had the probe in the breast for the duration of the cook. When that got up to 165, I took it out, probed the thigh. The thigh was still at like 159, 160. So you want to make sure that you check both places because you don't want any portions of undercooked meat. But it came out really good. I'm really happy with everything. And we can take a little slice here. And in this slice, you can really see the green chili sauce that I put in there. Ooh, it is hot. So there's a really nice swath of these the green chili injections that I put in there. I'm really looking forward to tasting that. And that is actually pretty spicy, and it's really good. I would definitely recommend trying out this recipe anytime you want to try a variation on just the standard Thanksgiving turkey. But we also all have our traditions. My mom would never eat this because she has to have her turkey with orange juice and butter and I don't know, whatever else she puts in there. But that's a really good turkey too. This is just a different way of doing it. And if you like what you saw today, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell down below. And don't forget to visit nmbbqtrue.com for all of to check out all of our merchandise and see anything that's coming up, new videos, and all that type of stuff. Now, I'm not done here. There's going to be one more portion to the video that'll be in between, and it's making a green chili gravy to go with this. And it's going to be really good. So don't forget to check well, you'll have already seen that, I guess. I got turkey on the brain and I can't think to talk. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.
There you go.
Oh, Jesus.
Cut it.
Mm-hmm. And as always, this food is Gringo tested, Burqueño approved. Thanks for joining us.